Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists. This is Comic Book Hangover. My name is Scott, and once again, we have another weekly haul video. Another nice stack of books right here this week. There's going to be some stuff that came out the last couple of weeks, and most of it, though, came out this week. And we're going to start off with stuff that came out a couple of weeks ago. Something that came out a couple of weeks ago. And that is this King Kong the Great War. I'm not sure if that's the cover that I wanted for it, but that's the cover that I got. I'm just curious about it. That's the only reason why I picked it up. I'm just kind of curious as to what this is all about. So I figured, what the hell, I'm going to pick it up, read it, and see if it's any good. Now, for anybody out there who is curious about the book and wants to get into it, the one thing we have to remember, and the one thing I'm trying my best to remember, is that this is not a book and this is not a series that's connected to the MonsterVerse at all. This is a completely different thing, because apparently, and I could be mistaken, but it seems like I believe I read or saw somewhere that King Kong now is public domain, so anybody can do King Kong. So this does not take place, as far as I'm aware, this does not take place within the MonsterVerse. So it's not connected to Godzilla or King Ghidorah, Mothra, or any of those guys. But it's from Dynamite. I'm gonna check it out and see what it is. I also got another. Well, this is a variant cover. Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. This is one of the two variant covers that I picked up for the first issue. I liked this one because back in the 90s, Ghost Rider used to co-headline the Marvel Comics Presents series with Wolverine. And there was a run there where they had these cover artists that were not the best, but they were not that bad. And this cover here actually kind of reminds me of the sort of artwork we would have on the cover of Marvel Comics Presents, which is not a bad thing. It's not an insult. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it gives me that sort of nostalgia feeling, like this whole book does. It's a really good read too. I also got, this is now before we get into this week's books, I do want to talk about this one. Again, my LCS, they do drawings, they give away books, they give away credit, all kinds of stuff every week. If you spend, I think, like $5, you get a ticket that you can put in for a drawing. I do that every week, and I won something this time. This is from DC. This is one of those books. I just put the tickets in. Titans #1, part of the Dawn of DC initiative. May or may not read it. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, so I might actually check it out, because I have not heard anything about it at all. Excuse me, my allergies are still going off. They're pretty bad this year. I think a part of it has to do with that. I guess there's a big wildfire or something in Canada, and some of the smoke is coming down here. The smoke is hitting Michigan. We've had some very hazy skies, and sort of kind of a slight smoke smell in the air. For me anyway. I don't know how it is for anybody else, because this whole thing it's really messed up my allergies. I really don't have much of a sense of smell right now, which is great when I'm changing Parker's diapers. I love it, but when it comes time to eat, I like to have my sense of smell. All right, now that said, excuse me again. Let's talk about the books I got this week that actually came out this week. Starting with Supermassive 2023. Supermassive, it's part of they call it the Massiverse. We got Radiant Black, Radiant Pink, Radiant Red, and some other books. And I only read Radiant Black. I was trying to read them all, but there's so many of them. There's another one called No One. It's a 12-issue maxi series. It's too many. It's too much. It's too hard to keep up, especially when you're thinking that a lot of these books are $4 a pop. This one here, this is a $6 book. It actually is pretty thick. I don't know how well you can tell, but it's kind of a thick book. It seems like once a year they do this Supermassive, and this is just sort of a chance for all the different characters in the Massive verse to kind of get together, and it's sort of like a one and done crossover. And it seems like the last couple that they did, it sort of sets up storylines, and it's part of it. So this is going to be my chance actually to sort of get a look into what the other Massive verse books are doing and what's going on, because like I said, I only read Radiant Black, and actually only read it sparingly. I think I'm an issue or two behind on reading it, so I might end up dropping it again. But still, it's a great series. It's a lot of fun. Moving on. Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis #4. This is Legacy number 96. And this cover looks very familiar to me. I think this is, I want to say this is a Maximum Carnage. When back in the 90s, when the first big Carnage event after his appearance. Was like it was like a 14-part crossover called Maximum Carnage, and it seems like this is sort of an homage of one of those covers. I don't have access to my books specifically, but I'm going to look through and see if it is what I think it is, because I'm pretty sure this is it just reminds me of a Carnage cover. Moving on, sticking with Marvel, Warlock Rebirth #2. Love seeing Adam Warlock drawn right, and love seeing Gamora and Pip the Troll there. Really love that old school Marvel Comics logo and the corner box. That is brilliant. I love it. So great series so far. I'm really enjoying it. This is a variant cover, but the regular cover sold out. I don't know why. I do put this on my pull list, but for some reason it doesn't get pulled, but it's fine because I've always been able to get down there and grab the last. This is actually ended up being the last copy they had. But this is from Image Nightclub #5. And I said this is the variant cover, so the black and white. It might throw it off. I don't know. It's still a great cover. In black and white, it's still a brilliant cover. Now, of course, as I've said before, the big thing for this series here is that their cover price. And no, you are not misreading it. It is $1.99. This book is $2. You get a full-length comic book for $2, and it is a great series. It's a vampire series, and the fact that I'm loving it as much as I am says something, because I am not a vampire fan at all. It's just like with Little Monsters. Not a vampire fan, but really like that series. Moving on. This one might surprise some people. Actually, the $4.99 cover price surprised me. But this is Daredevil and Echo #1. This is the variant cover. Demogoblin. I'm a huge fan of Demogoblin. I love Hobgoblin and I love Demogoblin. When I heard that Demogoblin was in here, I kind of was paying attention to it, but I was like, I'm not sure if I want to check it out. But then it came out that in the future issue, Ghost Rider's making a guest appearance, and Ghost Rider versus Demogoblin is always a good time if it's done right. So I decided to check this out. I'm not a reader of Daredevil. I really have no idea who Echo is. Just very, very, very passingly familiar with her. So this is going to be my introduction to her, and I get to read some Daredevil goodness and get some Demogoblin. I'm just not sure how Demogoblin is still around. Hopefully they give some indication and some an idea of how Demogoblin's around. If it actually is Demogoblin, because there's a female version of the character that was introduced, about a year ago, called Demogoblin. This is Demo, D-E-M-O Goblin, and there's a D-E-M-A Goblin as a female character that is a female version of Demogoblin. It was a cool character. She had a great design, and as far as I know, they haven't done a whole lot with her. But that's another reason why I'm curious about this book. Last up, this is a facsimile edition. Iron Man, or if you want to be as technical, the Invincible Iron Man #1, reprinting the big premiere issue of Iron Man. And again, we're going to go through this because I do this with every single facsimile I get. The 3 ways to tell a facsimile cover, a facsimile reprint from an original book, if you happen to come across them online. #1, Modern Marvel logo, right there. #2, and probably the biggest indicator, is that cover price. Books like this did not have a $3.99 cover price. That's a modern thing. And #3, if it's going to have a UPC logo on the front, that UPC logo on the facsimile reprints, they're gonna hug that end. They're gonna be right on the end. They're also gonna be kind of thin. The old school UPC boxes were thicker, more rectangular shape, more of a standard rectangle. This is a thinner rectangle, so that's how it's gonna be. Now, if the UPC is on the side here, it's gonna be right up to the end. There's not gonna be any space between the UPC box and the edge of the comic book cover. So there you go. That is Iron Man #1. Facsimile edition. I love getting these facsimile editions. I'm happy to be able to start getting back into them. All right, now cover of the week. Haven't really put much thought into this one. So actually, you know what? We're gonna go with this one. Kind of surprising. I'm sure a lot of you are expecting Ghost Rider to get it, but Ghost Rider got it last time. We're gonna go with this one here. Just Demogoblin. I love checking out Demogoblin. This is gonna be I'm planning on reading this one tonight, because I want to know what in the heck is going on with that character. One of my favorite characters. Glad to have him back. It's actually kind of cool. So I got Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider. I got Adam Warlock being done right. And I got Demogoblin. I got Spider-Man 2099. There's a lot of 90s goodness going on right now in Marvel. And I can only hope. It's a faint hope and it's a false hope. I know they're not going to do it. But with this resurgence and doing comic books the way comic books were done back in the 90s, meaning more fantasy, you know, more action adventure, less politicking, less social warrior nonsense and what they call it, wokeness. Less of that stuff and more just having fun, you know, good guys versus bad guys, good times, and great escapist entertainment the way comic books are meant to be. But that said, once again, I'm going to wrap this up. Everybody, thanks for checking this video out. Thanks for all your continued support. I think I'm getting close to 250 subscribers, which is awesome. And we're still, on the personal life front, we're still hoping to be able to get into someplace. We have an issue with, we're not gonna get into specifics, but there's a certain issue that we have to figure out a way to get around so that we can get my family into a home. But that said, everything's great. We got summer vacation coming up. Looking forward to spending some time with the boys and being able to spend a lot more time with Parker. Melissa's working now, and everything hopefully is going to be moving in a positive direction for the family. So thank you again for all your support, for the subscriptions, for the follows, for the shares and the comments and all that stuff. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It's been great. It's been a great ride. We're coming up on my 200th weekly haul video, and I'm looking forward to another 200 after that, and another 200 after that, all the way up to 1,000, and we'll see what happens when I hit 1,000. So again, everybody have a great weekend. I hope everybody had a great new comic book day. I had a blast. Wasn't able to stay down at my LCS as long as I wanted to, but we got other things to do, physical therapy, all that fun stuff. So hope everybody out there had a great new comic book day. Got some great books. A lot of really good books came out this week. And I will see you all next week with another weekly haul video. Have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.